Well, good morning, folks. Today is September, 6th, I think, Wednesday. And I think my garden here at the house is played out. And so I've got lots of okra. I mean, it's just taken off. And I didn't collect it over the last few days. I mean, it's just huge. So I've got so much okra that I don't know what to do. So I'm over the okra. So I'm gonna start dismantling I may leave the tomatoes that's putting on some green shoots here, and I may water it just a little bit. But the tomatoes are just about gone. Yeah, but I'm gonna leave those just a little bit further and see what happens. We'll like to. I never had tomatoes in a long time that's gone out through September in a while. Usually by the end of July, 1st of August, they are done. But anyway, so I'm going to get my shovel and pull up all that stuff and put them on my trailer, haul them over the property. My garden space over at my property, I've started cleaning it up. I've taken up all the corn, the okra, and the peas, and the only thing I got left is tomatoes, and they're doing a little better than they are right here, so I'm going to keep those as well. All of this is basil. It helps keep the insects away that doesn't like it. Man, this okra is huge. You look at how big that is, and I hadn't collected it in like 3 days, and it's like that everywhere. I just keep on getting. I got so much okra. But I'm gonna eat it all and refresh it all. So anyway, this is all coming out, and then and when I get through with all this, I'll pull that plastic up, till it, and let it get exposed to the sun. And anyway, so now I got to go get my let's see, I got a shovel over here so I don't have to go. Alright, so I'm going to do that, and I'll get back with you after I get it done. Well, good morning, folks. It's September the 7th, Thursday, and it's about 8 a.m. and I just want to take a picture. I got all my okra up. I'm going to leave the basil and my tomato plants. I thought I'd give them just a little longer. I only see 1 or 2 tomatoes on it, but they got some new growth on it, so I don't know if it'll bloom or not. If it doesn't, he doesn't. Be nice to have some tomatoes in October, but I don't think I'm going to get them off this plant. So this morning my plan is to go back over to the property, and I got the Polaris and the trailer loaded up. I'm going to take the little push mower and cut the alfalfa field and maybe some of the clover around the vegetable garden over there. Clean up a little bit around the vegetable garden, and then go across the road where I'm going to have my new garden and start staking out the layout for that. So anyway, it's not very hot today, but it's very, very humid. I mean, I'm sweating, and it's not about 75 degrees. Very humid. And then when I get through with that, the crabgrass has gotten so thick that I've got just rows of dead grass. So I'll come and get that up, I got the front yard picked up yesterday. So anyway, so I got a busy morning, and I'll catch up with you when I get over to the property. Okay, so I made it over to the property. I'm on the alfalfa field. I think the alfalfa has died. I don't see much of it. It might come back when it gets a little cooler and get rain. I don't see any alfalfa. Oh, there's a little bit right there. Anyway, so I'm gonna cut this with the push mower. I would have bring my big zero turnover, but the couple of my trailers are loaned out to neighbors, and so I'm gonna cut this with the push mower and see if I can get it down looking a little bit more decent. I'm not sure what this plant is right here. I'm curious as to what that is. There's a lot of it out here. Seemed like to me I get a little notice on Instagram or Facebook about this plant being some type of medical use for indigestion, congestion, and some other stuff. I'm not quite sure if that's the same plant or not, but anyway, it's fixing to get cut. So righty, so let me get this cut off and get to work. It's really humid. Okay, that took about 25-30 minutes to get done with the push mower, and it's looking a little bit nicer. Maybe some fresh growth will come up and the deer will like that. I should have cut it, 4 weeks ago, maybe 5, and cut it a couple of times in between just to have the new growth to come up for the deer to eat. Got a salt lick right over there. I'll show you that in a minute, but I want to talk about this camera right here. I bought this from Walmart. Walmart was selling, it's a Moultrie, I believe, mini, and it has, instead of 8 batteries, it has 4. And I thought, well, that's cool. I won't go through as many batteries. Well, problem. That's a piece of junk. The batteries only last in that thing like 21 to 25 days. And it never keeps the date and time stamp. Never. And it's a piece of junk. And so I'm going through more batteries on the Mini, which I thought I would save. It's a piece of junk, I think. Anyway, that's just my salt lick. They've hit it just a little bit, not a whole lot. I've seen them just dig out big old holes, 18 inches deep. But I guess they're getting plenty of salt and other minerals that they really don't need it that much here, because there is a lot of cattle farms around. So I'm sure they're getting all their salt and stuff from those pastures. Anyway, so I've got this done. Now my garden's right there. I'm gonna go back around and get the push mower out and cut around my garden. I pulled up some okra over there already, so I got to get that okra up into the junk pile, get that okra off the trailer, and then start on something else. All right, let's get to that. Okay, so I'm over by the garden, and what I've got is I got a deer stand right there, and I come over here to practice my bow. That target's 20 yards. That black one right there is 30 yards, and that white one is 40 yards. So I'm shooting, and then there's my pistol targets. I am going to shoot my pistol while I'm over here. And but took up my corn, threw it down here. Raccoons had a good time with it. The cellular camera's right there on that tree, So I'm getting those. I need to raise the aim point up just a little bit. Anyway, this is what's left of my in the woods garden. I do have a lot of green tomatoes over there, and I got some right here with some red. So these are hanging on a little bit longer. So I'm just gonna leave them. And then I got some carrots right there. And I tried to dig them up about a month ago, and they were really, really small. They never really took. I think I planted them too late. I got basil in several places around here. I'm just going to leave that till I get ready to clear it up. But anyway, I'm fixing to cut this. This is all my peas. I took all my peas out. I did not harvest any to eat. I took them all for seed this year because I planted them too late, and they really didn't behave right in the heat. So I'm fixing to cut all this with the push mower, and this is where I threw all the okra that I had gathered. So I'm fixing to cut the camera off, pick it up, throw it into my trash pile here, and get to mowing that. When I get that mowed, I'll take the okra from my house and throw it in the trash pile as well. So, all right, so I'm gonna get to that. Let's get to it. Well, okay, I've got that. I mowed all of this around my vegetable garden, and it's looking better. All the okra that I threw off right in here, the deer had eaten every leaf off it. I think I pulled them over there Tuesday evening, and this is Thursday morning. So, and then they've hit that pea pile where I just threw them over the fence, and over here this pea pile, they're hitting that, chewing all of that stuff up as much as they can get to the leaves. Yeah, so they've been in here. They've been in here having a good time. This is their byproduct. Okay, so I got that done. So now, what we're going to do next is we're going to take some of this timber that I have from replacing the boards on my 14-foot trailer, and we're going to make a square for the corners of my new vegetable garden. So we're going to pull out a couple of these boards, and we're going to cut them and measure them and make it square. So I'll use that as a big square to square up my corners on my excuse me, boy, my allergies are going crazy here in the last couple of days. And so I'm gonna get the camera cut off. Let's get the wood out of there and do some measurements and do some cutting. And I got some screws, my screw gun, and we're gonna make us this humongous square, corner square. All right, well, let's get to it. Okay, so I made this right angle square, so when I pull my line, I'll have the corner and the whole thing squared. This is the 3, 4, 5, so it's 3 foot, 4 foot, 5 feet across. And I'm going to go over there. That's where my garden is. That's what I cleared Labor Day weekend, and we'll go there and take some pictures of that. And I might try to pull a line or two before I get finished today. So let's go across the road on that spot right there and see my clearing that I did. Okay, so that's from the road, looking back from the road, and go through my gate here. So I got all of this cleared. Track came off the excavator right back there. It took me 4 hours to get it back on. The renter would not come out and do anything about it. It's a holiday. I don't have anybody. We're all tied up. Blank, blank, blank. So I said, okay, I'll do it myself. So I got to get the bank cleared off because I'm going to plant some wildflowers in here. I'm going to try to till some of it and put some wildflower seeds down here in a couple of weeks. But anyway, this is where my garden's going to be, and I'm going to see about putting out some string here. Well, I'm not going to pull too much string. I laid down this one right here just to kind of get a feel. I want to get my measuring stick and measure out the distance, the width of where I want to, how wide I want it. So I can't really put down the perpendicular lines here until I know how far it is over there to right here. But here's the concept for this thing, is that when that line is square here, then I'll run this line down through here all the way down, and then when I get down to the corner, I'll move that square down there. I'll have this stake in the back here, and I'll have it somewhat square. I'll do the same thing on all the corners. And but I didn't bring my measuring rod, so it's just a waste of time right now. I've got a lot of sticks and stuff in here I've got to get cleaned up once I decide where the garden spot is going to be. I got a bunch of these roots so that never got up, so I'm going to have to bring my pick and my axe and get some of this stuff up. Luckily some of it's already loose on top, but here's a big one right here that I missed with the excavator. That's going to be a bugger to get out, but I'll do that on a cool day where it doesn't hurt as bad. I got a lot of that stuff I can pick up. Actually, this dirt right here is a lot better than the dirt on that side of the road. This particular spot, that over there was nothing but rocks, just like most everything else I've got that I own. And but this particular spot, the rocks are very few, and then what they are, they've been, you know, about the size of a softball. And the whole concept of me of this is because I get more sunlight. It's about 11, so east is kind of this way, south is that way. I wanted to get down more trees there, but I ran out of time. That's north. So as the sun comes around from up here around, this whole spot in here will get a lot of sunlight. So anyway, I'm going to stop that because I'm not making any progress unless I know exactly where everything's going to line up. Once I get it all lined up, I'm going to put in the corners, I'm going to put railroad cross ties. I'm going to put 4, and then the gate is, the entrance is going to be down here, and I've got 2 8-foot, 10-foot gates, but I'm only going to use one, and I'm going to put it down here because that is on the downhill side, so when I open it, it will have the tendency to be open and not try to close on me when I'm coming and going out of it. I've got 2 rolls of 5-foot by 150-foot 1-inch chicken wire, and that's what I'm going to use around the side. I'm not sure how many cross ties I'm going to put down the long side. Maybe I might put 1 or 2, but I'm going to use the 6-foot, maybe 7-foot fence post, iron fence post, to attach the fence to. But anyway, that's the plan I'm working toward, and I've still got till the spring to get it all together. Okay, I'm done for today. I got to go home and get some dead grass up, and then I got to get showered and run some errands. Okay, catch y'all later.